Carol, first of all, thank you for joining us. At Aetna, I understand you're deploying SpringCM to handle document and workflow, in particular once an organization signs up and says, okay, we're in, which we are, by the way. We're a happy Aetna customer. How many Aetna customers are there, by the way, in the room? Okay, quite a few. And I've worked with Aetna in many of the companies I've worked for. So enrollment is a big process we kind of take for granted. Like, so your organization will close a deal, and then what transpires from there is employees need to go enroll. Can you describe how we're playing a role in that, and what would you like to tell us about the journey with SpringCM around enrollment management?
So it basically comes down to getting all the information that we need, and by we I mean my team. I'm a technical writer, so I basically create a lot of the marketing materials, the enrollment materials. All of what we create comes from a sold quote, which is usually handled in Salesforce, all of our contracting information stuff, anything about the customer that we need to know to create their enrollment materials. So SpringCM, with a couple of the other names that were up there, Salesforce and Buon Consulting, we're working in tandem to help us with like a quote automation process, which, going back to how you're talking about the life cycle of a document, establishing the signed and sold proposals, which leads to contracts, but hopefully also taking the information from there and almost automating how we create enrollment materials so that it takes less time, we get more accurate materials to the client faster.
And how were you doing this before? That's great. Thank you for sharing that. This replaced what system, and what was wrong with it that you needed to evolve?
As far as the quote system, I think it was still all done in Salesforce, but I think there was a few more things that were more hands-on, because this was all before, technical writers get involved. But there was some things that were more hands-on, a lot more follow-ups, and kind of how it said in the presentation, looking for certain bits of information, and TWs, by the time it gets to us, we really need that information, because if we don't have certain information, we might not be able to produce the product correctly. So I think SpringCM definitely helps, with the management of that, so we can get our information faster, which in turn gets the product done faster.
That's great. Now, you're in marketing,
Yes,
at least
sir.
by role and organization, right? But yet you touch a lot of parts of the business around this project. Can you tell us what other teams within that have gotten their fingerprints on this, who were vital partners with you along the way internally?
At Aetna, I would definitely say our underwriting team, because they help come up with and explain the products themselves. Sales, of course, sales and underwriting, and our product team kind of work in tandem, I would say, because selling the product, knowing what the product entails, which again would tie back to technical writers. We go off of the plan design, which is maintained by product and underwriting. So it's almost like our fine line in the sand, our bread and butter. Whatever they've written is what we have to make our materials reflect.
Okay, that's great. So you're partnering with a lot of teammates internally.
Yes.
Can't do these in a silo. Right.
Exactly.
So where do we go from here? What's your vision for where this platform should go and what we need to be able to do to continue to be relevant for you?
Well, right now it seems like we're doing this for a lot of new business, especially the main goal was to get this for third and fourth quarter, which for insurance is our busiest time of year. But I think it would also help renewals go a lot quicker too, because if we already have their contract and everything and all their information, it should be, no trouble to kind of drag and pull that information that we already have, but use it in the same way just for creating a New Year's materials. Right now we're also we focused on benefit summaries just because that's our most time consuming thing, but we hope to move it to other documents, whether they're state specific, client specific, what have you, just to generate it a lot quicker and a lot more efficiently.
That's great. Thanks for sharing your story, Carol. I appreciate
Yes, sir.
it.
Thank you so much.
Everybody, Carol Weaver.